All right, starting round number 1 of this modern play preliminary with canisters, elementals. Probably not keeping this. I'm probably gonna ship this. This is better. Can keep this in Hudson. Thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the 18 months. Appreciate the support. I'm just sending the Harbinger. Chromatic Star. Okay. Is it crazy to do that there? Probably it's fine. Elsewhere Flask. Wow. Okay, something real is happening over there. On the other side. Jeff Cat, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. 23 months. So close to 2 years. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go. I am so scared right now. Is my opponent just playing... Are they just playing Second Sunrise? Just playing eggs? Looks like they're just playing eggs. Okay. We're not playing Triumph anymore, so I'm gonna have to get probably Hallowed Fountain here. And I mean we don't have too many options, so we're just gonna try to get the engine rolling here. I mean if they have, we have no way to interact with any of this. Like the fairies probably, like the way to interact, quote unquote. Too bad we aren't jamming Karn. No, that would be good. That would be good for sure. Second ending. Second ending, please. Put that here, name red. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have tapped this and put that there. I think I'm ephemerating now, trying to look for another land. Nice. So we say no. Play that. And I guess we just chill here. I mean, I don't think that my interaction is going to matter, but I'm just going to ephemerate this on end step. And then draw 2 more cards on my turn. My opponent is going to have infinite mana to assemble their combo, though. I really have to find like another ending or like Teferi. Too bad that this list actually plays only 3 Teferi main. We're not playing Endurances. But this is nice because it's going to be like a clean sideboarding. We just got all of the Furies and we just bring in like Endurances and like a bunch of other actually useful stuff. As opposed to this nonsense. I wonder if I should... Well, that probably means that I'm dead. Them just using the Wish Claw. I could Solitude on end step. Solitude pitching Solitude and Ephemerate the Solitude just to have a body in play, which doesn't seem unreasonable to me. So they're going to get the Lotus Bloom going. So now they're going to get their engine. Second breakfast, second sunrise, I assume, but I guess we can call it second breakfast. It's a cool name. So they're also playing Where to get Lotus Bloom. It's pretty sexy. Put Reshape on top. Now they're gonna play what's his name? Faith's Reward. That's pretty good. I think I'm dying here. It puts it in the bottom, doesn't put it on top, so we're not actually just dead here. It's not looking great, but we aren't just dead. The card is second sunrise. Yeah, I know. I mean, it used to just be called eggs, right? When Sivka won the BT. Lurrus cannot cast Lotus Bloom, right? That's just not how that works. That is not how that works. I don't like my spot. Conjurer's Bubble, great tech against Surgical Extraction, by the way. My opponent is just executing so many game actions. Just gonna yield to end step, I guess. Let them do their thing. But I want to see how they win. Like, I really want to see what their win condition is. I'm not just gonna concede here. Sudan Orb. I think I'm just gonna Solitude and Ephemerate Solitude just because it's gonna be a faster clock. Gonna pitch the foil one because the non-foil one looks better. Gonna say nothing. Omnath is nice. Fury, not so nice. Invoke Trigger resolves. Just gonna blink Risen Reef. And blink Risen Reef again. Prismatic Ending. Ooh. Okay. Maybe we're in this. So, what are the chances that I find a fetch land? What are the chances that I find a fetch land here? I can't just play Omnath, right? So I'm just gonna go white, blue, play the fairy, and I'm gonna bounce their Lotus Bloom. They can sack it to make to like waste mana, but that's fine. And then I'm just gonna prismatic candy their Wish Claw. Here we go. Okay, maybe we can gain enough time here. Maybe. So we're gonna tap this, play Omnath, draw 2. Get Flooded Strand, that's fine. Mole Drifter. Well, I have to play Omnath because I need to start clocking them, so play Omnath. Stack my triggers like this. That's very nice. So play that. We plus the fairy already, so I'm just gonna swing. And we should be able to set up lethal next turn. Or at least, let's say that we're pretty likely to set up lethal next turn. And we have Prismatic Ending as interaction. Well, now it's lethal, so. Pseudonorb. That's what's up. All right. We won. And now we get to cut all of our terrible cards and play a bunch of good cards instead. Sounds like a deal. Sounds like a deal. We just got all the Solitudes straight up. I kind of want a couple of them so I can tutor for them. Maybe what I should do is this, so I can tutor them with Flame King if I need to. Yeah, House is whitelisted. I feel like everybody knows that at this point. Maybe cut one Ephemerate and... just play your next one explosives. Not reveal Lurrus. Okay. Turn to Recent Reef. I'm not gonna pass up on that, so. Lotus Bloom has been suspended, so that's probably gonna die to these engineered explosives on 0. So just gonna name blue here so we can reef next turn. Elemental. Play this bad boy, play that into play, name elemental, pass the turn. Okay, so just looking okay. Just looking kind of fine. My opponent can have some good draws here, but so I think I'm just gonna play explosives for 0 and blow it up on my opponent's upkeep. And I'm just gonna put Kahira in hand. So 1, 2, 3. Put Kahira. You need explosives for 0. Oh, Faith Reward is an instant, right? Huh. That may be a problem. If that's the case. I'm actually not sure. I think it's an instant. We'll see what they do. Interesting that they're fetching like a bunch of basics. Like it's not like I'm gonna be able to race them. Oh, they're just gonna wear. Oh no, it looks like it is indeed an instant. Unfortunately, there's like I couldn't have played around this really. That's pretty good. It's definitely pretty good. We may be in trouble here. They're gonna reshape now. Off the chromatic star. Gross. Gross. No, because we won game 1 somehow, so I still don't know how they are supposed to win the game. That's why I haven't conceded, because it's just like I'm not gonna pack it, right? Until I know how my opponent's how they're supposed to beat me. Would love to draw like Rest in Peace or something like that would be very cool. They did not reveal Lurrus this time around, which is interesting. I wonder why. Maybe they have the classic pirate spellbomb. If they have the classic pirate spellbomb, then they're probably just gonna time out, right? Going through the pirate spellbomb loops is just extremely time consuming. It's not like they can demonstrate a loop and go infinite. They're spinning their wheels though. Pyrite plus Saga. I've not seen a single Saga here. But my opponent had Surin Orb, so I'm assuming that they have. Although Surin Orb just kind of combos nicely with Open the Vaults and Faith's Reward anyway. Well, I guess that it doesn't work with Open the Vault. It works with Faith's Reward. But it doesn't work with Open the Vaults. It's pretty funny how like Faith's Reward is like strictly better in like almost every single way to open the vaults, and people are just kind of stuck playing over the vaults because of lack of better options. But like Faith Reward is cheaper, it gets more stuff, it's an instant, it's easier to cast because it's only a single white. Like it's just so much better on so many different axes. So much wheel spinning. It's pretty remarkable. Pretty remarkable. Beater or Deal looks to be the win. No idea what Beater or Deal does. Let's find out, shall we? 2B sorcery, search at first level, card and exile it, then that player shuffles. Gravestorm. Wow. If I'm gonna die to something, I want it to be a Gravestorm card, Also, I just realized this. The EE is back. Oh, that's so funny. That is so funny. I guess I shouldn't have put the Kahira in hand because I could have cracked this again. I mean, I know that it matters really, right? But that's very funny. This is another reason why this card is so much worse than Faith's Rewards. And we untapped again. Like, what the hell is going on here? How do we continue untapping? So I'm just gonna go get Endurance, and now we win the game, right? Stack Flamekin first. Get Endurance. Draw the Endurance. Now we just win, right? Yeah, I'm gonna crack E now. Good call. Endurance has been revealed. Let's just crack here right now. They can still wear, right? So we're just gonna move to combat here. And they do have wear. Look at that. Look at that. And now we just don't do anything, right? And whenever they spend a card in order to get all their shit back, we just endurance them and it's uncounterable, so there's nothing they can do, and we just win from there? Because if we hold, we can also wait until we that we can prismatic ending this. Lurrus Saga. There's a Force of Negation. So I guess that regardless... So they're out of Lotus Blooms now. I can pitch Kahira to Endurance and shuffle. I actually feel like we're firmly far ahead. Titan Elder, thank you for the follow. Also, Saga cannot find Lotus Bloom, by the way. So, end step. Play this. Another recent riff is nice. We don't have a blue card for Force. So I guess I'm gonna pass on... Man, this is rough. So I guess I cannot hold Force, huh? Name blue there. play this. We can also just tutor anytime we want. So we can tutor for Solitude to get rid of this. Not gonna tutor for that. Prismatic Ending is nice. Prismatic Ending is real nice. I really want to find an Omnath. So this means at least I can hardcast Force and hold up Ephemerate. And we can Ephemerate Flamekin. They have a construct which doesn't really do anything. Two constructs, so I'm just gonna fetch here, just maybe they're playing, you know. Maybe they're playing Hiding Needle or whatever, right? Sudan Orb, you got it. So if they play Faith's Reward or something like that, we just Prismatic Ending that, or we can just Endurance, Ephemerate the Endurance. Silence. We can't let that one resolve. So this Ephemerate is going to be a blowout. This should be game. Easy 2-0 against the combo deck. Easy 2-0. Nah, it wasn't easy. Game 1, we definitely got very lucky. But game 2, I feel like we were sort of in control during the entire thing. Like, when they whiffed on that turn when they were going off and just like making infinite game actions, it's just, you know, just tutor for Endurance. Just take it from there. So, Endurance. So good. See you in the next round. All right, here we go. We are in round number 2. We have a mirror in front of us. I'll keep this hand in the mirror. We're on the play, which is actually kind of worse here. But oh, this is blue-white control. Ugh. Yikes. Fairy. They take the draw right away, which makes sense, honestly. Man, this is brutal. So I think I'm just gonna evoke Mold Drifter. And then I'm gonna Fury killing the Fairy. Yikes. I guess we can discarding Omnath is just such a big deal. I'm just gonna pass the turn here, discarding Utopia's Pearl. blue, green. Can we find the land, please? Nope. No land for the good guys. Imagine they're gonna kill my recent reef. Wow. So they're trying to fix their own mana. So now if they have a land, they're gonna be able to blow up my other cavern. And they're gonna be able to counter my shit. Blue. Let's name red here. Plate fairy. Oops. No, that's fine. So they don't get the field. We play and control on now. Memory deluge. Land, fetch land would be sick. So I think what we want to do here is we want to try to go for broke. Oh man, this can whiff. This can whiff. So we want to keep this one. And we want to try to find land. Find land, please. Land! Yes! So this kills the fairy. And now our ephemerates are alive. Replussed here. We can pass the turn. I guess I could have ephemerate my Omnath main phase. Yeah, maybe that was better. Alright, we win. Very cool. Bring in those forces, force the fairy. And I think that's it. They're not gonna have anything for others. I mean, they have the new FOF. And maybe I just want to cut the sprawls. Nah, Bolt can allow me to clock the fairy. This hand is perfect, right? The perfect hand. That's the only way to make this hand better. Literal only way of making this hand any better is that one. It's perfect there, yeah, exactly. No longer perfect, the hand is perfect here now. So I think I'm just not exposing cavern yet. I'm just gonna play Risen Reef. How do we win this game? Because my opponent took like 10 minutes of their clock because they just wouldn't show up. And they realized that they were slightly behind, but slightly behind was already enough for them to want to just pack it to make sure that they can win games 2 and 3. We really want to find elemental blue green. We really want to find a land here. Yeah, they're just... Aethergust was a good card for a long time, and now it just isn't anymore. Fateful Absence. Wow, is that card bad? Holy shit. So we can Omnath plus... So I think what we want to do is, and this is going to be pretty sweet if it gets to work. If they have Counterspell, it sucks. But I think it's worth doing. That into play. We're going to this, pitching Omnath. If they have Counterspell here, we're kind of fucked, but it worked. All right. Put 4 and 1. So we have to make sure that we start the triggers properly. Draw Solitude, deal 4 there. Now we ephemerate our Fury. If this resolves, we get to kill the Teferi, Hero of Dominaria as well. We have a 3/3 double striker, and we have an ephemerate coming up. We have Force, and we draw another card. Force of Negation. Unfortunately, we cannot force back here. We did get a 2-for-1 at least. Pitching another Teferi. Okay, it's not the end of the world. Now we start pressuring Teferi. I think that was worth doing. Obviously, it cost us an Omnath, but we still have a Mooldrifter coming up. We have another Baby Tef. Oh, prismatic ending. Kind of sucks. Huh. All right, so um, I think we just do this. Attack the fairy. I guess they can cycle Shark Typhoon. They don't. Play land, say go. This is my turn, so I can't counter this. Otherwise, I definitely would, but they did on my turn, so I don't have force. What's up, Andrea? How you doing, man? I mean, they kind of do have to do something here. I'm exhausted by good. That's awesome. Love that. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Having some fun here with elementals. That's good. No seeing Pedro in chat. Wow, getting owned. Just gonna field me here. You're gonna field me, bro? Boom. I think I have to force here. Because otherwise they can plus and they can wrath on my turn. Like, we have the ending for this, but at least I'm forcing them to use the counterspell here. Like, they're probably not going to be able to minus on my Molder after, right? And now they can't wrath. So, sure. Fairy resolves. Interesting. Attack Big Tiff, attack Baby Tiff. They have only blue, so I don't think they have Snapcaster. One, two, three, four, five, six. Put Kahira in hand. Play this stabbed, say go. Probably gonna hardcast force here. Huh. They can't activate this thing. This is 6 mana to activate. And if they Shark Typhoon, then I just eat it. This is worse against Wrath, obviously, but now that the fairy's off the battlefield. at least we did get a 2-for-1 here. Maybe I should have played the Kahira to play around that. But then we're super playing into Verdict at that point. So I'm not too excited about that. It's a lot of mana. There's no way they don't have a Wrath at this point. What can I draw if I do this? An Omnath. All right. I've been successfully baited. Yep. So that takes care of that. Attack Hero of Dominaria. If they have Wrath, we're pretty fucked. Please attack with Hall of the Storm Giants. I'll take an attack with Hall of the Storm Giants. Can we do that? No. No. That's how the comebacks start. Whew! That's how the comebacks start. This is how the comebacks start. Let's go, baby. Boom. Just gonna pass here. Next turn we can pressure, but this turn we just gotta pass. Here's the Wrath now. Memory Deluge. That card's kind of messed up. We've ground through 3 of them. It's pretty sick. Worst draw in the deck. Feels bad, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 10 mana. Attack to fairy, attack to fairy. One is going to activate the hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cast this thing. If they have counterspell, we're fucked. They don't. Sweet. Pay the 3 for the word. Yes. Should attack with Harbinger. Yes, you are actually 100% right. You are 100% right. There we go. Omnath. Yeah, we're gonna lose now. But I don't know. I'm still gonna like my opponent's still pretty far away from winning themselves, so we can do some clock management here. Qué grande, Pedro. Bueno, me alegro, che. Me alegro que te ayuden. Sean lo que sea que te ayudan. Maybe I should have held on to this for one more turn. Yeah, I probably should have. Should have held on to that for one more turn. I cut all my sprawls, Levi. Probably gonna die to some Hall of the Storm Giant beatdowns. We're twice ahead on clock though, which is pretty nice. Timely Force of Negation. Two more turns. Take 7. Huh. Yeah, that one turn of not attacking with what's his name ended up costing us big. We ended up flooding in the end, but something to counter. Oh, it's just a Sharko. Good old Sharko. All right. Opponent's got 5 minutes left. Is there anything that we want to change? Anything we might want to change? I think I like Fury better than Solitude, but maybe not because my opponent has a bunch of instant speed stuff that they're doing. Okay, let's do this. Keep. I think I'm gonna hold on to the Harbinger here. Now we can Recent Reef off a breeding pool. Turn into play, name elemental. Pass the turn. So now we can draw an Omnath if we want. To Fairy. Thank you for the follow there. Appreciate it. So now blue, green, random. This, draw Fury. this. Gonna go to steam vents. Should I just get another recent reef? Yeah, let's just get another reef. Hold that thing. Pass the turn. So we're just gonna Teferi, I think. Do we just want to bounce my own recent reef? I think I want to bounce my own recent reef. To protect it? Nah, we have another one. Just pass. Plus and pass. They could have the bad removal, but if they have the bad removal, then they don't have a wrath. So now I am doing that, so I protect my recent reef. So we're going to attack first. And I guess I'm gonna play Omnath. Let's just play another recent reef. Blue, green. Ending Solitude. Just gonna play Flamekin. Nice. Can play another Teferi just to not discard. Seems good enough. Whoops. It's nice that we can take all the time in the world. My opponent's forced to play super quickly, and we can just take as long as we need to, and it just doesn't matter. Explosives for 3. It's kind of annoying. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Green, blue. Play another reef. Gonna play red, green, blue. Oops. White, green, blue, red. Play Omnath. We still have another one. Ephemerate is nice. Could cycle this Solitude. was looking for a land there because any land would have allowed me to just not only not go to discard, but also would have allowed me to also play the fairy there, which would have been pretty nice. Still no land, jeez. We have infinite cards. Infinity cards. Sure. I think I don't care about the card. That's nice. Elemental. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9. So I can Solitude to kill this if I want to. Or I can just play a Mold Drifter. I'm just gonna play a Mold Drifter. Still have Kahira in hand. To put it in hand, I mean. So, end step. I can try to ephemerate this and then my opponent can Solitude me. So I think we just chill. Because now they Shark. Shark is fine. So now we have Force plus Ephemerate. So they're looking for specifically Verdict, which I guess makes sense, but they don't find it. All right, even if they find Verdict, like we have like a million cards in hand, and my opponent only has 2 turns in clock. Like this, we're never losing that game anyway, even if they do find it. Sweet, 2-0. All right, round number 3. Opponent does not reveal a companion. Opponent does not reveal a companion. I'm keeping this hand though. Gracer. They're just doing AmuLIT things. Looks like it. So I think I'm gonna pass, fetch for a Sacred Foundry. well. Actually, what I should have done, now that I think about it a little bit more, is maybe I should have... Shit. I should have Flamekind for Solitude. Yep. I should have Flamekind for Solitude. I fucked it up. So now I'm gonna get Titaned. I mean, if we don't get Titaned here, I think we're gonna win. But I think we're pretty likely to just get Titaned here. Yep. I don't know. Maybe they're not playing. They're playing main deck Bog. Interesting. Okay. Maybe they're not playing Boros Garrison. They're not playing Boros Garrison. Okay, so we have a shot. Awesome. I do think I have to Luxac here, so I'm just gonna go Mole Drifter and I'm gonna ephemerate my Mole Drifter. I don't think I can just, you know, sit on this Solitude and be just fine with that, you know. Oh, what I could... No, I can't. Oh, yeah, what I could do is I can just put Kahira in hand and play Floodstrand and pass the turn. That may just be better. Yeah, maybe that's just better. Yeah, I think that's just better. Because this prevents my opponent from doing anything else. They're doing shit. So try it. Yeah, casting Dragon pre-combat is a pretty bad punt. And they did know about the Solitude too. They did know about the Solitude too. So it's a pretty bad mistake on multiple fronts. And now I think... I think I just go get another Solitude here. If opponent wants to trade here, that's fine with me. You think you would grab a reef? The argument here is whether we want a Mole Drifter and hope that we find a white. I think I want to do that. And we try to find a white card, but if we don't find anything, the problem is that we don't really keep going forward. Yeah, so that's obviously a disaster. But my opponent doesn't know that I don't have a white card, I guess. I think playing the Mole Drifter is better here. I do agree with that we have to play stuff, right? I do agree that we can't just sit on this Solitude and then if my opponent doesn't play into it, we're just dead, right? I do agree with that 100%. Now it's a matter of, okay, so I guess they just have another Titan. I mean, they can only haste one Titan. And we know that they don't have Boros. So maybe we're still fine here. Oddly enough. We kind of need another Ephemerate though. Oh, okay. So I think they have a lethal line. It's now a matter of whether they find it or not. Well, but they only have one land if they do this. And then we just Solitude the Dryad. And we move on. So they still need the Titan. Or like an Azusa or something. But this is not enough. This is not enough. They can have a multitude of things, but this is not enough. This is weird, but I think this is the line. Because it prevents me from dying to a top deck card. Maybe you should have Mole Drifted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This game has been weird. This game has been weird. We should have been dead multiple times. My opponent kind of has been helping me out there with their deck building decisions. Saga tokens are kind of annoying. Alright, Mole Drifter. Find me an Ephemerate. Not quite. Alright. Can we dodge here? Nice. That is very, very nice. Did I just not attack last turn? I think I just forgot to attack last turn. Which is obviously a pretty big punt. Stuff's for white, so blue, green, white. Start things here. Nice. I think I want to minus. One, two, three, 1, 2. So I'm 1 mana short of. Because I kind of really want to bounce my own Solitude so that I can kill a Titan, but I don't think I can. I did fuck up there. I should have left the white mana open. Well, we have to dodge this turn, I think. If we dodge this turn, we can be okay. Explore is bad. Because it makes Dryad plus bounce land a good top deck. Also, my opponent, they have to have a bounce land in hand, right? And now we start taking over. Ephemerate should probably lock it up. Done into play, plus... Draw 4. Another Ephemerate. Okay, so that should be locked up. I didn't miss 1 damage. I'm thinking that my opponent has a free block, and I'd rather have the potential to chump block with both of these instead of the 1 damage. The potential of chump blocking matters more than the 1 damage that I'm going to deal with this Solitude. When I win, I'm going to win by so much that it's not going to matter. So it's the thin margins only work the other way around. 1 point of damage is just irrelevant. Never cyborged against AmuLIT with this deck list. I don't think I like Bolt. Probably the Fairy is a little bit medium. Alpine Moon is okay, I guess. But I'm not particularly excited about it. Fury is also kind of awkward. Like, Solitude is just better by so much. I don't think I'm supposed to bring in Forces. Maybe the Forces are better than the Fairies, though. Miss 1 damage for a reason. I was gonna say that clearly. Yeah, there's like a little bit more depth to the decision. The Fairy that's pitched to Solitude, that's true. But I think that we're probably fine in cards that pitch to Solitude. Maybe not. Maybe that's a good enough reason to want like another copy of Death over the Mole Drifter. Force is just so interesting. Force is so interesting. Probably not better than Fury, because Fury does kill Dryad. No, I don't think EE is good enough. I'd rather have Prismatic End than Explosives, because I spend 1 mana to deal with an AmuLIT as opposed to 3. Big Wood, thank you for the follow. I think I keep this hand. And I'm gonna go turn 1 Solitude. Oh, never mind. Cancel that order. Is that a good draw? Is that a good draw, chat? I can't tell. I can be silly like that sometimes, and I cannot figure out whether it was a good draw. Easy Alpine Moon. So play this, fetch, find Hallowed Fountain, or Temple Garden. Temple Garden. I think I'm getting Recent Reef here. No, I have to get Solitude. So now this coming turn, I put Kahira in my hand, and next turn we can play Omnath. And then hopefully Omnath draws us into Solitude. Yeah, my opponent, I mean, it's possible, right? Like, my opponent is a new AmuLIT player. Like, that wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me at all. If they go for haste, I'm just gonna snap off the Solitude for sure. No packs to pay for. That's good for them. I imagine they're gonna go for Simic T-West. I mean, that's the correct play. Simic T-West is the right line. Yeah, there we go. All right, opponent. Good job. Summoner's Pact, which makes sense. Should ping for one. Good attack. Okay. So, what do we want to get? Get forest, green, blue, white, red. Should not stream against Samuel, makes it hard for me to cheer. Come on, come on. You can cheer for me. Second Titan. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to Solitude one of these Titans, I think. They don't haste. Aha. Well, this is a mistake. They should be hasting the second Titan. Because now they're giving me time, right? So beginning of combat, I just Solitude. Pitching Omnath. Get rid of the only Titan that can attack. There goes that. We know that they have a Summoner's Pact, so we have to find another Solitude here. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, whether we need to cycle Omnath or not. And what's the best way to do so. I think that the best way to do it is by just doing this. Because I need to make sure that I can play a Solitude if I find it. Yep. We just have to make sure that if we find Solitude, we can cast it. That's a blank. So we're probably dead now. It's not a given. My opponent has been making some weird choices, so it's not a given that they're gonna find a lethal line. But I should be dead. They're tapping their mana wrong too. Should have left double blue up. I guess that they're out of T-Wests maybe, so. Okay. Well, I'm trading, right? Though if they find Bounce Land plus Valakut, we're probably fucked. They get double Valakut. So if they don't have a Bounce Land in hand, which we don't know if they do, but I'm imagining that they do. But yeah, we just ran out of stuff. I feel like if we hadn't run out of stuff, we would have probably been able to stabilize here, but we just ran out of stuff to do, which is unfortunate. Okay, so they do have the Bounce Land. Plus the Azusa, this is just lethal right now. Yikes. Maybe this is better. All right, yeah, this hand's great. Love this hand. Gonna get Stomping Ground here. Turn 1, fetch Stomping Ground in case I find fucking Harbinger off the top. They had turf since the first time they played Titan. Yeah, that's possible. Honestly, I just forgot. I didn't know if that was game 1. I didn't remember that. Can we get there? Can we get there? I think this matchup is slightly favorable for us. I'm not like super stoked about it, but I think that we are the control deck, and once we manage to control the board, it's pretty good. And again, we have the upside of my opponent's list being not very good. AmuLIT. into bounce land. Huh. Explore. I've not seen a single castle, actually. I was considering prismatic ending the amulet instead of playing recent reef, but now that they have second amulet, I'm just gonna play my recent reef and make sure at least I draw a card off of this solitude. You never know, maybe they won't play around it. Prime time. Let's see what they do. Because maybe I can just go... Okay, so they're going for haste, so that forces my hand. That forces my hand. They're not floating mana, okay, because they stack their triggers wrong. So beginning of combat, we're gonna solitude pitching ending. Fury. Green, blue, red, white. Well, that's a sick draw. Good. Sacred Foundry. Yes. And now I think what we're going to do is we're going to recent reef and then Flamekin. And now we Flamekin for Solitude, and that should lock the game up. Awesome. So I think we can't lose anymore. I think we are good to go. Unless my opponent is like 5-head and they just go squatter my Sacred Foundry. Just like straight up, they just go squatter my Sacred Foundry. So this should be locked up. They also tapped in such a way that they can't haste even if they wanted to. So that's nice. So it gives me a lot of flexibility. Because I just don't need to do anything. I can just chill. They have battlements, so I think that we're fine. We should have lost game one, and we won because my opponent was playing battlements instead of stronghold, which I don't understand. I really don't understand the like now, right? Like sure, like back in the Field of the Dead era, you had like we talked about a million times. We talked about that a million times. Also, they missed the line to haste. They could have bounced battlements and hasted. They don't float mana. Evoke Solitude, kill your Dryad. Should have done a win so that Titan will win the prelim and you have an excuse to play it next Monday. Yeah. There's only so much losing that I can take, my friend. You can only, make the mistakes so many times before you start, to think, wait, maybe I should just not be doing this. They're playing main Nebo and Kalni, and that's why they can't play Boros. Sure. They Ghost Quarter themselves. They fucked up the timing, though. Like, if they were gonna do this, they should have done it before my Ephemerate resolves. How's the last Titan player? 3-0. Elementals, 2 strong. See you for the last round. Alright, last round. Getting paired against good friend Will Pulliam. This hand's great though. Snap it off. Snap it off. Turn 1 Temple Garden. What's up, Will? What are you up to over there with your Lurrus nonsense? I really hope that he's not playing Mill. Saga. Oh, so he's just playing Hammer. We have a lot of options here. I think I'm just gonna Prismatic Ending the Spring Lift Drum to take him out of having access to colored mana. And then we pay for Sentinel. Now next turn we get to Reef into Fury. They can't activate Saga, so that goes to waste. Been existing for like 2 years and I'm just not realizing they're all higher mana. Yeah, that's a big part of the problem. That's kind of like one of the big issues with the companions. You can have it in a Grixis deck and you can have it in a mono white deck or mono black deck, so that's why we see Lurrus all the time. Always Lurrusing. We're gonna draw 2 cards of this recent Reef, but we need them to be good cards, actually. I don't think that we can whiff and go on to win the game. I guess never mind. So it was black white instead. That would have been a lot better, right? Because that would limit. We would not see Lurrus every other match. We would see it, you know, it would still be busted probably, but it would at least force decks into making some more complex decisions. Solitude was a pretty good draw, by the way, in case you were wondering. Also, ramping of the recent reef is just absolute. No words, just. Ornithopter has entered play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent, excellent. No blocks, Will, you got me. So I think I just Fury and I just kill all their shit. Is that good, chat? Yeah. Video is gonna be going into YouTube. As always. Is that good? Sometimes I struggle to figure out. Actually, if I Solitude right now, I draw a card, he doesn't get a token. So this Solitude is actually just sick. The alternative is to... No, I think I want to Solitude this thing. Now they don't have mana, they're not going to be able to put another construct token into play. They're not going to be able to use Springleaf Drum for mana. I think this is better. He backs it up. Sweet. Alpine Moons. Engineered Explosives. I don't think I want these. The Fairy's probably bad on the draw. Shave a Mole Drifter. Maybe Shave a Sprawl. It really is sad though. The fact that I'm playing the last round against Will and neither of us is playing AmuLIT, that's just sadness, man. That is just sadness. Brutal. The issue is that we can't, like, the match often goes into the Lurrus stage of the game, right? And I need to make sure that I can compete in the Lurrus stage of the game, and the only way that I can compete in the Lurrus stage of the game is like if I can keep the gas running. So that's why I did that. Explosive's kind of awkward here, actually, with both Sprawl and Alpine Moon in my hand. It is a little bit awkward. I think it's strong enough, obviously, that it's worth it, but Steel Shaper's Gift. So, well, that's great, because I was gonna say like I could play around the nut draw, but now that I drew the Solitude, I don't have to anymore. So we're just going to go Temple Garden into Sprawl here, name blue, and pass the turn. Can go get a Steam Vents next turn if I have to. What's this? Probably Stoneforge. Hushbringer. Okay. So that's getting Prismatic ended. And then I can Alpine Moon name Inky, so I can't get cheesed. So Steam Vents here. White, blue, Prismatic ending. And Ink Morph Nexus. Lurrus in hand, so his hand is. Oh, that's a good draw. Blue, green, blue, blue, green. So I can just get a forest here. Forest. What a plains. It's better to get a plains. Yep. Wow, what a gift. What a gift. Just get stomping around here. One, two, 1, 2. Bye-bye. Yeah, Fetch made it so much better, but like I was just gonna pitch Fury to Fury, right? And still get my 2 for 2 and be extremely happy about getting rid of everything. GG's, well played. Deck's great. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't know what you want me to tell you, but where is it? Over here. I've been a really big fan of this deck since the first time I tried it, and it's just as good as ever, if not better, because people are just not gunning for this deck anymore. Will was playing Hushbringer, and it's like, kind of like the first time that I've seen that kind of stuff in a while. And even still, like we have access to Prismatic Ending, we have Bolts, we have the Fairy. Like this deck is just so nuts to me. This deck is just so nuts to me. I love this deck. I love this deck. Pretty happy that I'm rather close to building it in paper, so that's very exciting. But what did we verse round 1? Round 1 we got paired against I forgot. Oh, it was the combo deck. It was just Second Sunrise combo without Second Sunrise. It was interesting. What am I missing? I'm missing 2 Solitudes, and from this deck list I'm missing 2 Solitudes, 1 Force, the 3 Alpine Moons, and the 4th Teferi. And I guess the 3rd Cavern, but like you can play this deck with only 2 caverns. It's just perfectly fine. It's not a big a deal. I guess I'm also missing the Flamekin Harbingers, and personally, I've been very impressed by the Flamekins. Like, I know Canister hates them, but I like them a lot. Like, I think that this card is actually great. I think that the play patterns are a lot less obvious than it may first seem at first. First seem at first, that's just an awful sentence. Apologize for that. It's just, they are just, the play patterns are not as easy as you may think. So you need to map out your next couple of turns. Sometimes it's important to just wait and hold onto the Flamekin until after you have a reef in play. Sometimes you want to be setting up your reef. Sometimes you want to be setting up your removal, like we did against AmuLIT today. It just feels like there are a ton of play patterns with this card, and the card just, since the very first time that I tried it out, it has impressed me. I've liked it a lot. I really liked it a lot, and I do think that I like this version that plays forms of interaction a lot better than the 5-color versions that some people are playing with, like the 2-drop dude that gets the stuff back from the graveyard, and the other 2-drops, maybe like Voice of Resurgence or as Unsettled Mariner. It feels like this version is just, I don't know, like I just like this version so much better. But yeah, I mean, deck is extremely strong. Deck is very strong, and this is something similar to this is probably what I will be playing in the showcase this coming weekend. So if you enjoy this kind of play patterns and you enjoy this kind of deck, you're gonna be seeing it a lot more in this channel. If you did enjoy the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, and bye bye.